It's a huge Saturday in college football. This Saturday, September the 20th, we have three head-to-head top 25 matchups, but I'm going to go even deeper and give you three bonus top 40 matchups. That's right, 6 games broken down, free analysis, free picks coming up right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, and this is your weekly college football top 25 report. I do it each Saturday for you during the regular season. If you're finding it useful, hey, thumbs up, like, positive comment below, and I will keep it coming each and every week. As I do, break down every head-to-head top 25 matchup and go a little bit deeper and give you 3 bonus games afterwards, games that are just a bit outside of the top 25 rankings. But look at the 3 biggest games this week in start time order. You don't have to wait long for one of the better matchups at 12 noon Eastern on Fox in the Big 12. Number 17, Texas Tech at number 16, Utah. And Texas Tech has been explosive this season, to say the least, dominating the first 3 teams they've played. But not only do I do a 10,000 game simulation, but I also do a schedule strength analysis and offensive and defensive efficiency analysis. And so far this season, out of the 136 FBS teams, Texas Tech has played, based on my ratings, the easiest schedule in the country so far. So don't let the 58 points for, 11.5 points against skew you too much, because their opponents have been pretty bad. In fact, their 3 opponents have been outscored by an average of 18 points this season. But nonetheless, Texas Tech has been explosive on offense, shut down on defense. But this is a huge step up in class now, having to travel and play a top 20 opponent. It's their first road game of the season, and it's in thin air and altitude on top of that. Utah also off to a perfect 3-0 straight up in ATS start. These 2 teams combined have won and covered every game this season, so something has to give. So let's look at my database simulation. On average, I have Utah winning this game by 8 points at home. With the thin air and altitude, a little bit of a weaker schedule for Texas Tech, there is some value with the Utah Utes at the current line of -3 or less. And once again, this line opened 4. It's now been bet down to 3 minus $1.15. 3 is a very key number, but 8 to 9% of the time, Utah is going to win this game by exactly 3 points. So at -3 or less, we do get some value with Utah. Once again, I project an 8-point win for the Utes. Not in a hurry to fade Texas Tech. They've been a really good team this year, and I do think they rate as the better offensive team. But Utah rates as the much stronger defensive team. So we're getting the better defense, strong home field, thin air and altitude against a Texas Tech team that's taken a huge step up in class. I think there's some value with Utah here at -3 or less. All right, that game's at noon Eastern once again on Fox. Let's look at your next top 25 matchup. This one's in the SEC at 3:30 Eastern on ABC National TV. Number 22 Auburn at number 11 Oklahoma. And this should be a very good matchup here. 2 teams that are off to pretty good starts. But my game simulation, my 10,000 game simulation has Oklahoma winning by almost 14 points, by 13.5 on average. So there is value with the Sooners at -7 or less in this one. Line open 6. It's been bet up this week to that key number of 7. Talked about Utah -3 being a key number. Well, 7's the second most important number, about a 4 to 5% chance Oklahoma wins this game by exactly 7 points. So at -7 or less, I do side towards the Sooners in this one, as my simulation favors them by 13.5 points. Oklahoma, much better defensively than they've been in years past. Their defense has been trending up the last couple years. That was their weakness a few seasons ago, and they've been making improvements. In fact, I rank this as a top 5 defense in the nation right now, one of the top 5 defenses in the nation. And it also looks like they got their running game going against Temple last week. After 2 lackluster rushing attacks against Illinois State and Michigan, Sooners rushed for 228 yards in what could have been a letdown spot last week. After the big win against Michigan, no letdown, 42-3 win against Temple. They've held their 3 opponents this year to 3 points, 13 points, and 3 points. Definitely rate as the better defensive team here. Strong home field, and I think we get some line value. I'd lean towards Oklahoma at -7 or less. That's your 3:30 Eastern game on ABC. All right, we round out the top 25 matchups with a Big Ten battle at 7:30 Eastern Saturday night on NBC. Sneaky good game here between Illinois and Indiana. You know, just a few years ago, no chance either one of these teams would have been in my top 25 video, but they're both in a top 20 matchup now. Number 9 Illinois at number 19 Indiana. And this should be a solid game overall, probably one of the best games of the night. And once again, a game that's flying a little bit under the radar as far as I'm concerned, as it's 2 teams we haven't talked much about this season. But I have been keeping my eye on Illinois this year. They've been an explosive offense out of the gate. Perfect 3-0 start, obviously, but they've been moving the ball extremely well offensively. Last week, an impressive 73-0 win for Indiana. Well, Illinois was just as impressive, 38-0 against Western Michigan, and that was a best bet for my direct clients at WagerTalk.com. I had blowout written all over that, and Western Michigan never had a chance. So both these teams coming off shutout wins last week. Once again, Illinois 38-0 over Western Michigan, and then, of course, the Friday night game in which Indiana smacked in-state, hard to say in-state, rival Indiana State 73-0. So now we turn to this game this week. Big step up in class for both squads. And on the surface, some money has been coming in on Indiana. Hoosiers opened as a 5-point favorite. It's been bet up to 6.5 this week. Let's check my 10,000 game simulation. We'll see that on average, I've got Indiana winning this game by over 9 points. I rate both defenses almost dead equal. Both top 20 defenses. Both teams have played very weak schedules, bottom 10 or 15 in the schedule strength. But I think the edge in this game is actually the Indiana offense. I mentioned that Illinois has been an explosive team this year. Well, Indiana's been just as explosive offensively, and I think that'll be the difference in this game. Illinois averaging 45 points a game, while Indiana's even better at 52 points a game. Both teams giving up just 7 points on average. Both pass defensive and yards per play perspective have been pretty strong, but I think Indiana's a little bit more explosive offensively, and on their home field, 2 weak schedules. I think that usually benefits the home team stepping up in class, which both teams are doing in this one. And once again, my game simulation on average has the Indiana Hoosiers winning by over 9 points. So let's lay the points here. As long as it stays below that key number of 7, I would lay it with Indiana. They're currently minus the 6 to 6.5. That's your 7:30 Eastern game Saturday night on NBC. Hey, there you go. Those are the 3 head-to-head top 25 matchups for this Saturday, September the 20th, week 4 college football. But as I always do, I always want to dig a little bit deeper for you and give you as much value as possible. So there are 3 games that were just a bit outside of the top 25 rankings. What I do is I look for big matchups, and with the additional votes are still coming in, which means some additional votes in the AP poll, we can kind of figure out where those teams would rank. And the winner of this next game, I think, will be top 25 next week, and that's number 28 South Carolina against number 23 Missouri at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. South Carolina was ranked 11th last week, and now they're out of the rankings. Missouri's moved up from 25th to 23rd. Missouri wins, they stay ranked. If South Carolina wins, I think they sneak back into the rankings, but that's not likely for a couple reasons. Lenore Sellers, starting quarterback for South Carolina, has been questionable all week. He suffered a head injury, a concussion, second quarter last week in their 31-7 bad loss to Vanderbilt. He's listed as questionable, but as I mentioned in the standalone video I did for this game here on WagerTalk TV, on Thursday afternoon, the line started to drop. It was as high as 11, went up to 13 last Sunday, dropped down to 11, but then we saw it break below that key number of 10 and hit 9.5 on Thursday afternoon. We've also seen the total go from 46 up to 49 midweek, which makes me think Sellers is likely to go for South Carolina. But even with him factored in, my 10,000 game simulation favors Missouri by 13.5 points. So at 9.5 or less, I like the value with Missouri. I do think Sellers will probably play, but if he doesn't play, I still like Missouri, even if the line goes up. Backup quarterback, Roddy, is not even he's listed as a receiver on ESPN.com. And by the way, I have a deeper dive breakdown in one of my 2-for-1 videos with this South Carolina-Missouri game here on Wager Talk TV. But I do lean Missouri, favor him by 13.5. At 9.5 or less, even if Sellers is going, I think Missouri is the play. That game at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night on ESPN. Another game on the earlier card I want to touch on is Michigan-Nebraska. Michigan is currently 21st in the country. Nebraska is 34th. But I think the Cornhuskers could pull the upset here and sneak into the top 25. I say upset because they're currently about a 2-point home dog. But my 10,000 game simulation actually favors Nebraska outright by over 3.5 points on average. So I think the wrong team is favored here, and I think Nebraska, who has a very solid team this season, flying a bit under the radar, could do some damage in this one. I did a solo video on this game as well here on Wager Talk TV, so if you want a deeper dive into the full breakdown, check out my solo video for this Michigan-Nebraska game. But once again, I favor Nebraska by 3.5. They're currently about a 2-point dog. And I rank both of these as top 10 defenses, so it should be a good defensive battle. I think that favors the Cornhuskers at home at 3:30 Eastern. And then a final game, neither team even in the top 30, but I wanted to touch on this real quick on the way out, and that's number 31 Arizona State against number 35 Baylor. That's at 7:30 Eastern, Fox National TV. Winner of this game has a good chance of sneaking into the top 25 next week. And once again, Baylor is at home in this one. And I think they're going to probably be about a 2.5 point favorite when it goes off. But what I wanted to point out in this game, by the way, 10,000 game simulation favors Baylor by 2. Current line is 2.5, so it's pretty much where it should be. But what I wanted to point out in this game is if you like Baylor, I would grab the 2.5 sooner than later, as it's minus 115 in many spots, which means it's likely to go up to 3. If you like Arizona State, wait. You might get a +3 by kickoff on Saturday night. So once again, I favor Baylor by 2. Current line is 2.5, so not a lot of value either way. But if you like Baylor, I'd lay the 2.5. Otherwise, I'd wait, try to get a +3 with Arizona State. And the winner of this game is likely to be in the top 25 next week, is currently in the additional votes. Arizona State is 31st, and Baylor is 35th. And these are two very equally matched teams overall, but the strengths are completely different. I rank Baylor as a top 10 offense. Arizona State not even top 40. But Baylor's defense is not even in my top 70 right now, but they've played a much tougher schedule. When in doubt, I'd rather have the home team, stronger schedule, and the better offense. But once again, there's no line values. I only favor them by 2 points in this game. All right, there you go. Those were 3 additional games that were just a bit outside for making the top 25. Wanted to give you as much content as possible. We covered 6 games, probably the 6 best college football games this Saturday in week 4. Hey, drop your comments below, your thoughts on the other games on the board. Hey, maybe some under-the-radar games, some small college games, or do you like these big boy top 25 matchups, top 30, top 40 matchups that we covered? Include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And once again, if you're finding these free play videos useful, all I ask is a thumbs up, like, and a positive comment below, and I will keep them coming each and every week. And not only do I do this top 25 video every week for college football, don't forget I've got a ton of standalone solo and double videos as well for some of the big games. I touched upon briefly South Carolina, Missouri, Nebraska, Michigan. I've got standalone videos for both of those. Also a late night game for Saturday, Michigan State, USC, along with some other high profile games right here on WagerTalk TV. Also broke down Florida, Miami of Florida in another video. So click subscribe and click the bell. You will get an instant alert when the free play videos go up throughout the week for college football, NFL action. My Fade the Public video will be up this Saturday as always here on the channel. And also some daily baseball videos throughout the week. Free plays, multiple sports. Don't cost nothing when you subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert here on WagerTalk TV. Now, I've been a professional handicapper since August of 1996. Over 29 years ago, I began. It's my 30th football season. And if I have a best bet, it goes to all my clients. My paid subscribers get the exact same plays every day that I am personally using. Same games I've won with consistently for the past 4 decades. And the selection process is very particular. I have maybe 2 to 3 best bets per day on average, which means that last cut is still a pretty strong opinion, and I don't want to waste it. I put it up for free for everybody on my page. So check out the daily free play for today right now with analysis. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, check out the special offers, including a 7-day all-sports sampler for just $69. You get 7 days and nights of college and pro football and Major League Baseball every day for just $69 when you use promo code SM69. Normally it's $99. You get an instant 30% discount. Get 7 days and nights for just $69. But you got to use promo code SM69 at checkout. That's going to get a complete week of college and pro football, 7 straight days, plus baseball every day as well. And hey, don't sleep on baseball. Last year I finished on an incredible 57-28 winning run through the World Series. Still have over a month and a half to go this baseball season. Great time to get on board. We hit 67% last weekend in both college and pro football best bets. Get the next 7 days and nights, including all my strong plays that are posted right now, for just $69 with promo code SM69 when you do a 7-day all access. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And hey, get to my page quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Don't forget, if you're ready to take a long-term investment approach and get all this upcoming basketball, college, and pro as well, all the rest of football into next year's start, rest of baseball into next year's baseball, 1-year all access is the best option. And with promo code SM365, you get an instant $811 discount. That gets it down to $3 a day, about $1 a play. So whether you want to try the 7-day to try it out if you're still building your bankroll, or you're ready to take the consistent long-term investment approach with the 1 year, use promo code SM69 for 1 week or SM365 for the 1-year all access and get every personal best bet I am using each and every day and I've won with consistently since August of 1996 when I became a full-time professional handicapper. And look, you don't have to memorize the special offers or the promo codes. They're all listed on my homepage along with the best bets right now. And then most importantly, hey, that daily free play, which is up there right now with analysis as well. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Thumbs up, like, comment below, subscribe, and click that bell. And don't forget also to follow me on social media at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. 2 R's, 1 L, Merril at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.